Hello. Hi guys. Colored line art. Something so simple, yet something that can modify a drawing so heavily. I have been wanting to try colored line art for ages now, so I'm glad I finally can. Plus, I was looking for an opportunity to get more fine liners. My 01 micron, which is the one I use the most, is all dry out. Representation. This took way longer than it should have. On camera it may seem to work fine, but it's very difficult to get ink out of. I can't draw animals. Did I tell you I can't draw animals? This looks like a 50-year-old real estate agent and I am so sorry for that. May I introduce to you 6 different colors. Just need to... Wow, actually, you know, this is great. I love this. Alright, so we have brown, purple, red, green, blue, and black, all in the size 01. I got these all in size 01 because they're the size that I use most. I'm not too concerned with swatching these because they're pretty straightforward, but I'm just going to, test them out on the page. And immediately, in comparison, that one flows much smoother. Well, I'll be trying them out on this sketch, and as you can see, the lines are not clean, because I sketch very messily. I'm thinking this color scheme right here would work well. Also, I think being able to use the blue and green liner would be cool. Some of the most vibrant colors out of all of them. Alrighty, time to use these fine liners and somehow make it look good. And just on another note, the messy sketch I guess could be kind of a test on how these hold up with all the graphite. While it may seem like I have a whole concept laid out, I was actually not 100% certain for this drawing. I mean, even the sketch was just a bit sporadic. Like, so sporadic that I actually didn't even do a concept sketch. I just, for whatever reason, really felt like drawing. This was mainly the first pass of lining. I go and thicken up the lines later on. Just so you know, this video will sort of be a mix of a speed draw and thoughts on the colored liners. After all, the general coloring portion of this drawing took a pretty long time. It was a big component. There were so many different lines in the sketch that I was a bit uncertain over which ones I should go over and which ones I shouldn't. Plus, I did have to keep in mind which color each line would be. I will report that the liners performed generally well on the first pass though. When lining the eyes, it is critical you do not breathe. Oxygen? Nope, we do not need that right now. I really want there to be huge, colorful eyelashes. I may or may not have done that on a drawing before, but I really wanted to do it this time for some reason. I was also very inspired by one of Delightful's characters. I really love her artwork. If you didn't know already, this was sort of a sea creature themed drawing, and it doesn't really go much farther than that. Alrighty, so I've got most of the general lines down, so I am going to erase and refine from there. I forgot to line the lips. Okay, now I'm going to finish erasing. Sometimes when I erase, I forget to line some things, so I go and do that. I am violently trying to erase some of these parts, but it's like the graphite's almost like embedded into the paper. It's weird. Probably because I've been just like sketching so long. I don't know. Well, I am going to take the liners and thicken up a few lines in order to add some definition. I hadn't really done something like this, but if I was trying new colored liners, then I suppose I would try a new technique. I kid you not, this was time consuming. I also got the smaller size of liner because I thought that you could always go thicker. Of course, it's not very simple time-wise. But I do really like how it looked in the end, so I think it was worth it despite how time consuming it was. If I keep rotating the paper, I'm really sorry about that. I don't know how to stop doing that, though I find it easier to get details that way. This actually took longer than anticipated, and I will say I'm a bit heavy-handed, but I like the result. And another thing to note, yet again, graphite brings up another problem. The graphite is kind of locked under the ink. I don't know why it does that. Now, I have all the line art done, but I don't want the skin to be one single solid color, so with a pencil, I'm going to block out a few colors. Those parts just won't be lined, so that's why I didn't, do them before. In my opinion, it was looking a bit plain, so this just added a bit of extra something to the drawing. I did feel like lining the spots would make them very prominent, so I did hold off on that until now. Alrighty, so now time to start coloring. I'm not exactly sure of what I want the placement of colors to be. All I know is that I want it to be super colorful. Like always, if I don't have a plan for the color, then I begin coloring what I'm certain of. Like, for some reason, I wanted the eyelashes to be bright blue. On the skin, I wasn't 100% sure of the color placement, so it did end up taking pretty long in the end. I tried to erase some more of the graphite. When I tell you that it wouldn't come off, like, I mean it. I've seen some people do digital sketches then transfer them onto paper for a cleaner look, and maybe I should try that sometime. But overall, I think an art skill that I need to exercise is sketching cleaner. Funny, unnecessary story actually. I usually record in time-lapse, and I ended up accidentally recording this in normal speed. Basically, when editing, I sped up like an hour of footage down to like 15 seconds. Once I started adding in the blue spots, it started coming together a bit more. The more I added in color, the more I thought blue would look nice with the hair, but I also thought it might be a bit overpowering, so I was still debating it. Oh, it looks like crazy under the colored light. Going from the pink light to the normal light hurts my eyes. When I started to add the blue in the hair, I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't think that it was overpowering it. At this point, I didn't know what I was gonna do for a background, or even if I was gonna do a background, so I just decided to go in with a white gel pen and highlight some stuff. This included light coming from the light source and on the high points of the face. You know, surprisingly, the white gel pen wasn't as effective as I thought it was gonna be. I thought it would lend to the slick sea monster look, but I guess not. The colors were generally light, so I don't know how well it showed up. I originally had webbed fingers in the sketch. This is where I realized I forgot them. I didn't know if I should add them or not, because there was a pre-existing layer underneath. Alright, I'm just gonna add like the slightest web here, because I really like the webbed aspect and tie this all together, but I don't know how it'd look like layered over this green color. As for the background, I decided to do this sort of bubble thing with the yellow to incorporate that color. It looks a bit weird now, but it'll turn out somehow in the end. Okay, I'm really tired right now, so it's not the best, but it's something. The graphite's still like weirdly staining the paper. Well, that means this drawing is basically done. I would say the colored line art turned out really cool. I can't imagine it with plain black line art, and I think I will definitely use colored line art a lot more in the future. I kind of even prefer colored line art over plain. In addition, the colored line art adds this really nice pop to it, and I will probably be using it from now on in like almost every drawing I can. Well, this was a really fun drawing to make, and I will see you all later. Bye! If you add the neon colored pencil, then it looks pretty crazy under blue light.